good in cutting totally from motorsport and from racing. Please, let's give a look to this video. Never far. So, Mr. Tronchetti, never really far from motorsport for your people.
They are dedicated, as you ever see.
I think, Mr. Tronchetti, now is the time to show, let's say, start showing the new things for this year. I know that you asked for the help of somebody.
I think that this is the moment in which we show the sets, but it's important to have the people that did it. So our technicians, please.
This is the motorsport team from Pirelli, car and bikes, of course. They will show, of course, not all the new things for this season, but let's say the dominant, the most important ones. When you're ready?
We are ready. So,
time
ready?
to unveil.
1, 2, 3.
Let's leave a minute to our colleagues, photographers.
Yes. Smile. Cheers.
Also to the tires, please.
Grazie. Grazie a
Thank
tutti.
you.
Grazie a tutti.
Thank you, Mr. Tronchetti. You remain with us, of course.
你就说那25000是我还你的那个。
So, Paul, Giorgio, now it's time to go really
信用卡
into detail. We can
有
start
啊
from Paul, I think, because the first question is the one which Mr. Tronchetti opened.
还够啦
It is once again a season of various, very rich.
户头里面4万块啊
For both car and bikes, of course. A very big work, of course, is R&D from the R&D point of view, as usual for Pirelli. What is the organization?
4万块不是全部都是赚的啦。
Race and ride this year. let's start from the
我
organization.
还没回收完呢。
Sure. First thing to say is actually that Dr. Tronchetti did mention that our Chief Technology Officer, Maurizio
下一
Boiocchi,
期有啊，
here, so this is
还没啦，
part of
是
the
还没
presentation
啦，
we made.
是
And
还
I know
没
a lot
啦，
of
但
people
是
here
有
know
啦。
Maurizio. And for those who don't, I would best describe
还
him
有
as
啊，
our
那个
Adrian
你那
Newey.
个
You
刷
know,
卡
he's a
单要
genius
还
in the
我。
business, and it's a great shame he's not here because he's such a great supporter of our activities, George and myself, in motorsport. A lot of people, of course, involved in R&D, 1,200 people.
对啊，因为我
7% of
那
our
个手续费
turnover.
我通通要摊下
But it's
去
also
啊。
spread globally. And that's something that is very important to us. Of course, Milan, I know a lot of people have actually been out today and seen the laboratories here in Milan.
它是按金额比例啊，是啊，所以你刷几笔都没关系啊。
In Brazil, because of the size of our business in both of those countries. But also we have development centres in a number of our business operations from the UK, from Russia, China, Mexico,
这一笔就
USA, where
20
we're
万啊，
really
差
dealing
不
with the
多
local
20万啊，
market
这
needs
样啊
and。the local market activities, be it from a product.
其实我是收了差不多快21万，那刷了之后，因为欧元它还比较便宜，所以我付出就是到付的是19万多。不是因为我不是我算汇率是40，但是那时候对，所以我中间有。
Moving on to
先赚了一些差
manufacturing,
价回来。
and again in motorsport, we actually have a very significant facility in Turkey, in Izmir, which is where we make all the Formula One tyres.
啊？
But equally, we have other locations. Germany is very important, but it's very
对，
important.
所以我已经先赚了一点点的汇差，然后再来我。
We also have a smaller operation
这
that's
次20几万都是刷欧
in
元啊。
Romania, Slatina, where we make our GT tyres. We make the GT
没有，
tyres
差不多
we
已经
used last
先赚
season.
了1万
So
多
it's
块
a。very big operation and it demonstrates the global nature of our business.
对啊， 还有啊，
For which kind
没有
of,
那个是还没有
engagement,
刷啊，
talking
那
of
个只是现在
championship
大家
number
在
of races,
揪而
where
已。
now?
对，
Well, you know, there's
还没有正式下去说。
252 championships we're involved in, and you know, people often say, I'm
那
sure
个
Giorgio when the season
我
finishes.
们这
The
平豪
motorcycles,
那
you
边
got
也
your
有一
holidays,
家
we
那
just saw
个
F1, they
有
think
专
we're
卖
on
那
holiday,
个
but
土
between us
鸡
we
蛋
have
你看上面
252
这一张就
championships,
是。
and it's a global activity. 720,000 tyres gives you a real
啊，还
weight
有
and
3
size
种
of
土
what we're
鸡
doing.
蛋。
So it's yes, we have the premium
还有
categories
那
that are more
个
visible maybe, but the
有
reality
鸡
is
的
it's a
馒
true
头
global。 activity for the company.
对呀，他说的啊。
Understand. And Giorgio, Mr. Tronchetti was saying
那边
something
啊
about the advantages which comes from
四
motorsport
柜
to the
啊。
normal, let's say, road activity for Pirelli, normal production activity. Can you please explain in the best possible detail what about this integration between the two concepts?
Yes, quite easy, because the integration is the right words, because if you consider that mostly of the R&D people involved into the racing department already did an experience in standard products, or we go to make an experience in standard products. So we use even system and method like the interactive development process that comes as a dealing way to talk together with our original equipment partners in car passenger or super sport and motorcycles. And this process we apply in the racing field as well. In motorcycle, we used to say we got a little motto that is you race with what we sell and we sell with what you race. At the end, that means maybe it's more easy to understand for the bikes, because motorsport bikes are really close to the same size of the slicks we use in a racetrack. Formula One is slightly different, but the biggest experience we got in the Formula One in the last 2 years in terms of acquiring data and develop sophisticated mathematic method and system gave us an incredible boost, especially on materials and especially on compounds. And this is the big exchange we got.
And Paul, we were discussing with Jean before. We were saying, okay, all this R&D activity is of course helpful drivers, because you allow them to drive in the best way possible thanks to your tires. But we see that of course R&D and what is connected to that give, of course, a big help strictly connected to the normal road production activity of Pirelli.
Yeah, you know, one of the strange things when we entered Formula One was that a lot of people say, what do you take from motorsport to the road tyres? And when we entered Formula One and we had 8 months to get ready, it was actually what our road car business had given to the motorsport, because a lot of the work in simulation was actually sort of initiated, if you like, through a high-level activities we have with the premium car manufacturers. Today, we have to say that motorsport does provide a fantastic laboratory. A lot of the information and data that we acquire, we're able to use and apply through to what we do in creation of know-how through to our road car products. But not only, it's also in terms of methods of working. The speed of response that you need is fundamental when you're working in motorsport. Your results are very evident every weekend. And particularly when you see the number of valuable partners we see in the car business and motorcycle business, the brands are indicated there, you know that we're operating really at the premium end of the market, and the standards every day and every week and every year are very exacting and very demanding.
You see the very big amount of top brands who are connected day by day with yourself.
Exactly, and it's a process that sometimes people don't understand. Supplying those types of manufacturers is competition as well. You have to compete against other manufacturers to provide the best product. Okay, it's a road car application, but it's still a competition.
Giorgio, let's go even more into details talking of bikes racing, because you today have a big new thing to announce, but also because, please, let's remind it, this is the one starting, is the 10th season in a row with Pirelli present in Superbike. Superbike is the peak of your activity. There are a lot of things after that.
Yes, I would like to give you just a few information about our motorsport commitment, then talk a little bit about the 10 years in Superbike as a sole supplier, and then a little bit about the new 17-inch tires. So we got to go back to our R&D department. We all got the R&D here in Milan, just 200 meters from here, and all the equipment is here present today. Then we got to competence center. I would like to say technology competence center. One is in Germany for the radial tires. Radial tires means for us all what is road racing, and the rear tires for the Dakar, because we need special features for that. And then in Brazil, we got the off-road competence for all what concern the off-road racing and enduro, cross, supercross, and something like that. Then after that, we have to say that in these two factories, we manufacture our racing tires with the same process, the same machine. We make the standard road tires. Just asking to the factory, to our technician there, to make a little bit of super effort when we change something in specification. But as soon as we got the comeback of 1,000 tires from it, they will be ready to pass in production the new specification. So it's a little balance we found with the factory in order to not change too much what they do, but at the same time to have advantage in development. We race with the tire producers in these two factories in different world championship, to mention just for the motocross championship MX1 and MX2, that is an open championship, and we won even the last year MX1 and MX2. Then we got the supercross in the United States, because it's an important field. The market is the biggest of the world for the motocross, and they race in indoor, so it's another specialization of the cross. And then we got the Dakar. In Dakar, we race a few years with KTM winning the Dakar. Now we are racing with Honda. The bike is out here. Dakar is very special in order to put the bike really and the tires are really under a big stress. Then, passing to the racing, road racing. Road racing, we got different categories. The first one important is the World Superbike. In the World Superbike, we got different categories: Super Sport, Super Stock, and we use different tires from the slicks on the Superbike to the DOT's tires on Super Sport, Super Stock. DOT's means tires that might be used on the road as well. So the chain of the development and the cascade of the development is quite easy in this way. But this is not at all, because we we race in other 27 countries with a regional, national championship. And this is important. It's something I'd like to call racing pyramid, because from the top level in which we race with the best manufacturer, the fastest rider, with a big equipe of engineers who takes looks about the engine, electronics, suspensions, brakes, we go to the little championship, regional championship, when the guys arrive on a racetrack with his own bike, with his own car, and race. That means we have to test the tires in World Superbike, then we go to the World Endurance, that is another field very important for us. We won the 24-hour in Le Mans and Ball d'Or last year with the competitors. This is important because you can imagine that the tires from a race of 100 kilometers has to go into a field where we have to make 24 hours. Different condition, different tarmac, fog, springly French fog in the morning, the night on the rain, and so. So the same tires have to make this and then go in the nationals. So in this way, we can have a chain that gives us at the end of the season the right specification to put into the range that could reach the market. So this is very important for us, and this is the reason why we did the last 10 years World Superbike. When they asked and invited to the tender 10 years ago, no one of us, especially in research and department, was happy about this, because to lose the contact with the competitors was something that we all think was bad. Actually, looking at the panorama we got at that time on control tires, they were easily boring. They put a lot of limit with the tires to the development of the bike, to the development of the attitude of the riders. So we decided to change a little bit the role. You can imagine that from manufacturer point of view, from promoter point of view, they are always looking the same things. They are looking for fair condition for everyone. They're looking a little bit of competitiveness. They are looking for less cost as possible, and everyone is looking for show. So we have to give them all of this, but we have to add something to this, and this is what we call our way to make the sole supplier. To add something, that means that for Pirelli Racing is not only a brand image, is not only an academy for technology of young engineers, but is really a development field, is a platform of our development, because we use all the categories in order to be able to supply at the end of the year something on the market, and the people could purchase the same tires we produce. This is the different way we got. So we are partners of the promoters, of the team, of the manufacturer in this. We are not just a sponsor or someone who looks for the image. And this is the most important part of our job. So the motivation we found in competition with ourselves. If you look at this number shows that we are not just bringing what is necessary. We bring more because we need to make a lot of tests. At the end of the season, we'd like to improve the lap time. We'd like to improve the endurance of the race. And so this is a challenge with ourselves. And we are ready for the challenge with the competitor at the same time. So for the 17-inch next year, we are ready for another step forward. To go to 17-inch with the same rim size that are on the sports bike today means really to meet completely the market and the people who like and buy our tires. We succeed to have the same performance of the exotic size used before, the 16.5. Clearly, we test this for 3 years so far. We gave the tires to the riders in World Superbike in July, and from that moment, today, we just put these new tires in production. So that means in the next season, starting in 15 days, Australia, New Zealand, South America, and then Canada, United States, we start with the new range. The World Superbike will start with this new range, and after a season, we will change the compound of what is needed in order to improve the tires for the season 4. But maybe the video will explain a little bit better our range.
the 2013 Superbike season, Pirelli will have 10 compounds, 6 for the rear and 4 for the front. For the rear, the 4 new slick tyres include Superpole with an immediate warm-up and 2 laps with maximum performance, SC0, soft compound that offers maximum grip on slippery asphalt and good traction even at high temperatures, SC1, medium compound that is the most versatile of the range and suitable for 80% of the whole championship, SC2, hard compound for severe asphalt and or low temperatures, which is very resistant to cold tearing and wear. There are 2 options for the front, SC1 and SC2. This last tyre is the hardest compound, which is the ideal choice for high temperatures and abrasive circuits. The soft SC1 tyre is best suited to low temperatures and medium severity circuits. To deal with demanding weather conditions such as rain and standing water, the wet and rain tyre solutions are designed to guarantee drivability, control and safety. Diablo Wet, a grooved tyre with an intermediate compound, is ideal for wet but drying asphalt. Diablo Rain, with a full wet pattern, maximises safety and control, offering good wet grip in marginal conditions. In a sport where increased power goes hand in hand with increased grip, Pirelli is introducing an important innovation, with the tyre increasing in diameter from 16.5 to 17 inches. A new profile with lower sidewalls and a significant increase in the contact patch gives the rider a better feeling, more drivability and increased performance. This technological step was made possible by the introduction of new materials and a fresh redesign of the internal structure, which compared to the 17-inch used since 2004 has a completely new profile, which is more efficient and more powerful.